What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Revival. My name is JJ, and today we're talking about one of my favorite RPG series, Wild Arms. Alright, so I want to first preface this, as per usual, this is not a review. This is literally just like a short rundown of the games in my collection and like how I feel about them. Because I've played all but one, and then out of all the ones I've played, I haven't finished one of them. So we'll get into that in a minute, but I just really like... I was kind of thinking of what kind of video I could do, because I record a bunch at a time, and I'm always like, alright, I'm going to come up with like 3 or 4 ideas, and then I'll record them all at once, and then I'll have, videos for the next few weeks or whatever. And I was like, you know what, I should do like a series, like just discussion kind of thing, where I just talk a little bit about a series that I love. And I was like, Wild Arms, heck yeah. So my history with it is... I don't know that many people in my circle of friends that really play much of it, other than like Matt, who I know is big into RPGs and stuff like that. But and then I think Adrian has also played it. But I had heard about this after Final Fantasy VII. I'm pretty sure this came out first. But I heard about it based on a friend of mine, my friend Mike, who... I was playing Final Fantasy VII at his place, and he had said, he asked me if I played Wild Arms, and I was like, I'd never even heard of it. And he was like, oh, it's another RPG that's on the PlayStation, you should totally check it out and stuff, I love it, it's great and everything. And I was like, RPG? Totally, I'm in. Because back then that was literally like all I played. So I found out later that it was actually like on the original PlayStation box too, there's a screenshot on the back, and I saw that and I was like, oh, cool. So I did end up eventually picking up a copy of Wild Arms. And first thing you see is that opening cinematic, I don't want to call it a music video, but the music is amazing and the video that goes along with it is fantastic. Just go look up Wild Arms intro. Anybody who plays RPGs, I guarantee you knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's so good. I still go back and watch it every now and then because it's just that good, even if I'm not going to play the game. And then when I watch it, it ends up making me want to play the game. This is easily my favorite in the series, the first entry. It's so fantastic. Really sad, too. But I love the 3 characters, Rudy, Jack, and Cecilia. And if you love RPGs, I cannot recommend this one enough. It's just like a mix of Western and fantasy. And the 3 characters that you play as are so different from each other that it's really fun to see that mesh, because they are so different, but they work so well together. And I really like how it starts off too. You start off playing as each character separately, and you get a feel for how they play and stuff. And then when they come together, that's when, like, you play for like, I don't know, like 3-4 hours or something, and then you see like some credits come up, and you're like, oh, was that it? And the title comes on, you're like, holy crap, this is just the beginning? Like, it's crazy. But I cannot recommend this game enough. If you ever are looking for an entry into the Wild Arms series, you cannot go wrong with the first one. It is by far my favorite, hands down. And I think, honestly, that's common consensus, is a lot of people say this is the best one too. And the one that I have not played is that I own is Ultra Code F, which is apparently a remake of the original, but they added you get 3 more characters, and you get to choose, make up your party and stuff. And the characters that you get are characters that were in the original, but not playable at the time. So I really definitely want to get into it at some point, because that sounds fascinating to me. And I love the original, but man, the graphics in the battle they're rough. Like, I love the sprite-based graphics when you're running around the world map. They still look great to this day. the battle graphics are a little rough to get used to. So it'd be kind of neat to see how it looks on a PS2, and I'm super excited to eventually get to this because I definitely want to. It feels heavy too. Oh, because there's 2 discs in there. That's why. One of them's an anime DVD. That's kind of neat. I'm losing my voice because this is the 3rd video that I've recorded today. But yeah, I definitely want to get to that. But the first one is hands down my favorite. The next one, from what I've read online, is a little bit divisive. I loved Wild Arms 2. I thought it was great. I loved the diversity of the characters. I loved there were secret characters that you could get. I loved the battle system. I thought the exploration was great. The only thing I wasn't a fan of is that you can't see like locations and like there's a world map, but if I remember correctly, you don't actually see the locations until you get close and then use like a radar. And then when you use it, if you're close enough, then it pops up. I was kind of like, you know, if you get close to a big city, you're going to see the big city. You're not going to be like, radar, oh crap, there's 1,000 buildings in front of me. You know, it's just a little weird. And you got a little lost at times, at least I did, because of that. But other than that, I thought this game was really, really fun. Same deal, the music is so fantastic. And it's a, you know, Western fantasy kind of thing. Really, really just enjoyed it. And definitely a good continuation, at least in my opinion. I'm curious, those of you that have played it, what do you think about Wild Arms 2? Because, like I said, I've heard some people say that this is not a good follow-up, but I loved it, personally. Next is Wild Arms 3. So, let me start off by saying the artwork in this game. Beautiful, cel-shaded art, just gorgeous. Absolutely love it. I love the cast of characters. Virginia, I think, is the girl's name. I think she is a wonderful, wonderful character who fits super well into the series. None of these games are connected by story, by the way. They all just take place on a planet called Filgaia, and that's about the only thing that's really connected them, other than like the arms that you use are like guns or machinery or whatever. I like the cast in this game. It's a little repetitive. Like it's literally just town dungeon, town dungeon, town dungeon. Even more so than other RPGs, which like will add mini games and that kind of stuff. This is like very, very much town dungeon over and over again. But honestly, I didn't mind it too much because I enjoyed the combat. I enjoyed the story and the characters and everything. What I did not like was the ending. I obviously don't want to spoil it. I just did not like how it ended, and we'll just leave it at that. If you've played it and you love it, or you're curious as to why I didn't like it, shoot me a message on Twitter or YouTube, anything like that, and I'll tell you why I didn't like it. Because it's something that I was just like, kind of one of those things. Like, but up until then, I absolutely loved it. So really fun game, good stuff. As long as you can get past the ending, then you're good to go. But leading up to that, it's all about the journey anyway. It's not about the beginning or the end. Wild Arms 4. I'll be honest. I know I've beaten it. I don't remember much about it. I vaguely remember the characters, and the battle system takes place like on a hexagon type thing, where you're moving characters on some sort of a weird grid. I honestly don't remember much about it. I beat it, and then I was kind of like, alright, cool, done. Not that I didn't like it, because I don't remember hating it. Normally if I hate a game, I will remember it and remember to avoid it. But this one, I'm like, every time I see this on my shelf, I'm like, which one was that again? I just don't ever remember anything that makes it stand out for me. I want to say this is when Xseed took over on the development of these games, but I don't know for sure. It looks like it, and I was kind of just like, But I mean, if you enjoy the other ones, if you like the other ones that they have in the series, check it out by all means, because it's it's more Wild Arms. So, and the last one that I have is Wild Arms 5. This is the only one that I've played that I have not finished, and that is because basically it's not that I disliked it. One, it's a lot harder than the others, from what I remember. And when I say harder, I don't mean like hard to play. I mean it's like punishing. Like save points are very, very rare from what I remember. And I remember when I stopped playing, I had gone through a dungeon and made it like where I had spent like 2 hours in there trying to get to a certain spot, and then I died. And I lost all that time. And that wasn't the first time that happened in this game. Just saving and finding places to actually like, you know, record your progress and stuff were so few far between that you're always on edge hoping that you don't die because then you're going to lose all this stuff. And I absolutely just hate regressing in games. I cannot stand it. And losing progress is like one of the worst things for me. So I just was like, you know what, I'm done. I can't do it. Would I like to go back to it? Yes, absolutely. Because I'm looking at I sort of remember the cast, just looking at the pictures and stuff on the back. And I don't remember minding the gameplay. I do remember thinking it was repetitive as well, kind of like 3, where it's dungeon town, dungeon town, dungeon town. But I believe this one is a little bit more exploration focused as well, so which is a good thing. But I remember the dungeons being pretty long and just being pretty repetitive. And you know, if you're already having a game that's repetitive, and then you're losing tons of progress when you die on top of that, it just kind of amplifies the repetitive nature and frustration that goes along with it, at least for me. So I don't know, I enjoyed it, but I'm gonna have to like mentally prepare myself when I do eventually get back into this, because I definitely want to. I think the next one I'm probably going to try though is Alter Code F, because I really want to play the original again, because it's such a fun game, it's so great, and you know, I'd love to try with the new features. So guys, yeah, if you have any history with the Wild Arms series, I'd love to hear about it. What do you think? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it something you haven't tried but you want to get into? If you want to get into it, check out the first one, because it's the best representation of the series, and it's so good. Even if that's the only one you play, you're gonna remember it. I guarantee you. As long as you can get past the graphics in the battle, because just look up screenshots and you'll be like, okay. So, but anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and as always, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and keep on gaming.